Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I just noticed we had a little blip trying to reconnect with just using the LTE. So kind of wild, but getting ready. Going to share this with the group, and we're sharing now. So wherever you're going to watch it, the group, your group, Barron Landscapes, or whether it's going to be here, we look forward to seeing you. We're on in about 4 minutes or so. You can tell because we've got this little timer going on. Look at that. Hello, Dante, my darling. A watch party at your sister's house. The daughters are together. We're going to be talking about you guys tonight and the grandkids. About 3 minutes left to go. Get your drinks. Tonight's not a pajama show, but do make yourself comfortable. Come on in your comfortable garb. Welcome to Barron Landscapes. We'll be on in two. Hashtag Barron Landscapes. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be coming on in a little over a minute now. Looking forward to seeing everybody tonight. Telling it like it is. Laying out some truths. And we're going to be a little bit silly. Hi, my darling. How are you, Mariah? My favorite mother trucker is watching. Mr. Drifter, how are you? Grandkids are watching. And here we go again. Pardon my butt. And here we go again. And pardon my butt some more. And here we go again. And I think it's fairly important to remove that. Yes, indeedy. You know what I want? Oh, please, please, stop the applause, please. You know what I want, honey? I want one of those things that David Letterman had when he threw things, like the person backstage, like you are, you're like the producer, director and stuff. Like when I throw a pencil, glass breaks, or I throw something and a cat, right here.
So I'm supposed to get a sound machine?
I could load one on your phone. Is that a no? Greetings and good evening, everybody. How are you? It's so good to see you. Even though I can't see you, I can see you because most of you are friends of ours. We know what you look like. This is what I look like. My hair has not been this long since it was dark brown. So that'll tell you. Jason, how are you? I'm really concerned. You're out in California, and I'm guessing you're trucking. Man, keep your wheels cool. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, brother. Be careful out there, would you? Jason Panola is my brother, my true brother. We have passed each other on the highway, and he goes, wah, wah, and I go, meep, meep, and he laughs his butt off. Hello, grandchildren. We're going to talk about you guys doing makeup. And not that I think you're too young. You're certainly not too young to do makeup. Your mother just rolled her eyes and said, and I couldn't wear makeup until I was 13. They thought. But we're going to talk about blending and highlighting and doing base, and we'll talk. Grandson, I've got to tell you, yours looked better than granddaughter's. I'm just saying his was the better, and he had the pose and stuff going down. So grandson and I will work together.
He is a queen.
He is a queen. I love him dearly. So Blake, you and I are going to have grandson time, and we will work on makeup. Don't laugh. Granddad knows about makeup. You ask your mommy. It's so good to see everybody here. This is one of my, makes noise, but it's empty. This is one of my favorite banks that I've got. I've got several banks. I collect magical banks. One is a wizard that you put a penny under a top hat, and the wizard drops his top hat, and it makes it disappear. Watch this. Here goes a quarter into the bank. And here goes another quarter into the bank. And they disappear when they go in. I think that is just, that's an optical illusion. I can't tell you how it's done. If I told you how it was done, they would come and kill me. And we don't want that. It is Friday. Again, it's Friday. Time is really moving quickly for me. And I looked up online what that indicated, what's indicative of time moving quickly. And when I found out, I posted a timeline on my timeline about timelines. And it just means that the older you get, the faster time seems to move because all things are relative. So when you're younger, time moves slowly because you don't have as big a point of reference. And when you get old, like I am, you have a very big point of reference, and a year goes by just like that. So imagine how a week goes by from Friday to Friday. It is Friday. For those of you that aren't keeping count, or for those of you that let me keep count. It's been a heck of an interesting week. I'm really glad it's Friday. I need some time off. I'm going to do some things for me this weekend. The Academy of Magical Arts is having an award ceremony on Sunday. I've been asked to attend a magic club in Tacoma, Washington, earlier on Sunday, and I think I'm going to do both of those things. So on Sunday, I will be in Topeka, Washington, and then later that evening, I will be Tacoma, Washington, and later on that evening, I will be in North Hollywood, California. And how am I doing that? Well, I'm doing that through the graces of the internet, because I can go globally. I've spoken with people around the world in the past few weeks, and gone to their offices, gone to their living rooms, and they've come to mine. So we're going to talk a little bit about, I said we'd talk a little bit about the internet tonight on the show. Tonight's show, by the way, is called What in the World? And it's not a question, it's an exclamation point. What in the world? There are so many crazy things out there, and I wanted to share some with you because Athena and I, when we're on the road, or even when we're skirting around the internet, we find just absolutely crazy things. You've seen a couple of the things that have come up on my Facebook page this week with regard to balancing items, with regard to cars rolling uphill, and we're going to talk about those tonight. Right now on What in the World, I want to talk just for a brief moment about the internet, and then we're going to move into the rest of the show. So, y'all, we have to be real, and I promised you I will keep it real. I'm an optimist. I'm optimistic, but I'm an optimistic realist, and that means the news isn't always good, but we'll make it through anyway. So, here's what the news is. The internet is stressing and straining, and as all the kids that go back to school are going back to school, as our teachers go back to school, our hearts go with them, and my thoughts go out to the universe to protect them. But for all of the folks that are going back to school, a lot of people are going to school, starting school on the internet. And that's going to put a huge strain on the internet. I was watching a friend of mine down in Texas who happens to be a teacher. And I don't know if he's watching tonight. Shout out anyway. And he and other teachers were getting ready for classes to begin. And they were on the internet. They were on their platform. And they crashed the servers. They thought they crashed Google. We're not going to crash Google. That's probably not going to happen. But what happened is they crashed their local servers there in southern Texas where they are. Jason Collier, if you're watching, I think that's what happened. I don't think you crashed Google, but I do think you crashed your local servers. They got them back up. And I think the more people we see working from home, the more trade shows that we see happening on the internet virtually, the more people we see going to school from home, teaching on the internet. I think we're going to see a great strain on our internet. Now that's why we've decided to go ahead and stream the show right from our data, from our LTE data on the cell phone rather than internet, because we were up and down and up and down and up and down. And we don't want to do that to you if we can avoid it. But here's what we're predicting. We're going to see a lot of internet dropouts, and that's going to probably be in local and regional servers as soon as everybody settles in and starts their work time again. You know, kids going to school at home means other people are going to work at home. We're going to see a lot of internet traffic. And even if we're on a VPN, that's still using up an awful lot of the net, a lot of the gateways through the servers. So expect to see some drops in our internet. If the internet can't handle it, we could see some systemic failure, including some catastrophic failure. My suggestion to everybody right now is have your stuff backed up, because as we see the internet stressing and straining, what a great time for hackers to come in. So y'all be careful out there. Yeah. So what have we got going on this week? It has been an absolute crazy week. At the beginning of the week, I got thinking about our virus doc offering that we have out there. We've got a machine that purifies the air, that takes out bacteria, that takes out mold, that takes out viruses, that kills all of those, inactivates them, and makes the air safe and fresh to breathe. And I'm a fairly intelligent guy, but what do I know about viruses? I've been talking to the son-in-law about viruses. I've been talking to the daughter about viruses, trying to learn about how they're transmitted, how they live, even though they don't really live, how they attach, how they replicate. Where do they live? Where do they stay in our body? Where is their reservoir? Which is a new term that I learned, the viral reservoir. So if I'm going to suggest a product to my clients, if I'm going to suggest a product to anyone, I need to know about it. And because it has to do with viruses, bacteria, and fungi, I wanted to learn more about those. And so I started searching the internet to see if there was any place where not only could I learn, but could that learning count towards something? I was looking especially for college professional units, CPUs, which will go to my master's degree, which I will be getting in the future. I've decided after going to class this week, I'm definitely going for my master's degree. I got certification from an internationally accredited school, Aesthetics Accreditation International, and my certification is in infection control and prevention. So how do viruses and bacterium and fungi work? So I had to learn. I did a 12-module class. It is supposed to take 60 hours, and you get 4 CPUs. I passed my test, I got my certificate, and it didn't take me anywhere near 60 hours, but I got my 4 CPUs. And I thought, it was such an exhilarating feeling to do that. And not just do that for our clients so that they can stay open, so I can get back to work, but to do it for me. It was amazing for me to go back to school. And it reminded me of something. I love school. I always loved school. Not so much school, but the learning. And I got to tell you, I've never done that on a computer. I've never done online learning until this week. And moving at my own pace, traveling through my modules at my own speed, going back if I had to, it was an amazing experience. And if that is what school has become, folks, get your education, get your degrees. I will get my master's. I'm not going to go for a doctorate. There's no need for that. That's just ego, and I don't have that kind of ego. But I do want my master's. I'm hungry for the knowledge that comes with the education you get when you get a master's degree. And it's that simple. What in, you ask? Well, I think it's probably going to be psychology. That has always been my love. I've already got my bachelor, so I might as well go all the way. And you know me, it's going to be abstract psychology, the abnormal stuff, because I'd like to understand myself better. So I got a certificate. Yay, I did a thing so that I could help my clients, so that I could understand what questions they might have and be able to answer them for them. So I did a thing. If you want to see Virus Doc, it's on our website, barronstringfellow.com, and there's a tab that says Virus Doc. So I brought my thinking cap tonight. I'm a brainiac, right? I got through my 4 CPUs and I got my certificate. So there I am, a brainiac. And I've got some junk. Everybody's always asking what Athena is. Where's Athena? Where's Nani? What's Athena doing? Why isn't she babysitting you? Because, folks, I can watch myself. I can watch myself. I don't need somebody taking care of me. You're going to choke yourself. Your head's going to explode if you don't let it out. Just go ahead. Yeah, thanks. These are friends. I'm glad these are friends. These are coffee filters. Look what Athena has been up to, y'all. So we've got these. These are Lisa's.
They go with it.
So these are going out to Lisa Katari. And there are those. And Lisa, there are your white masks, white on both sides. I said to Athena, aren't they supposed to be blue on one side? That's what certification will do to you. It makes you crazy. And these, I'm guessing, are for the mistress? Or whoever. So anyway, masks are coming your way with filters. Coffee filters are fine, as are HEPA filters. Whatever you're comfortable using, we're shipping out coffee filters for you. Honey, catch. Good catch. And then who have we got next?
Those are for Sissy.
These are for Sissy.
Well, for Sissy's grandson
and for Sigrid and her grandson.
Yeah.
So whichever. Hey, Sissy, I dare you to get a picture of your grandson in this one, and then I'll get a picture of my grandson. We'll compare grandsons. But I think you guys are going to love these. So these are more masks going up to Sissy.
Those go up to Sissy.
And her grandson and her sister.
Yeah.
Who is a nurse. And bless her. What is this? Look,
somebody,
wait a minute, because look at this. Everybody else, there's all this elastic stuff, right? And then you got like some little princess ordered some with ribbons. What little princess? These are Mariah's, aren't they?
Yep.
I knew it. Our daughter, so proud of our daughters, all of you. One of our daughters I'm not going to say your companies, kids, because I don't know if that's okay. One of our daughters works and is a director of a large internal food service group that handles a lot of important people. I hope I did that well, Dante, and really proud of her. Our other daughter has just accepted a position this way. I don't know that.
Associate?
I don't know whether she accepted it or whether they hunted her down, put their hooks in her, and said, "You will work for us."
Associate Director of Nursing.
Our younger daughter is now an Associate Director of Nursing. And my darlings, excuse me, it's a wet cough. My darlings, we could not be more proud of you. Mariah wanted masks that tied. So if whatever makes it easier for you, sweetheart, it kills me that you kids have to wear these things all the time anyway. All of our kids are wearing these. And we're so proud of you all, both in medical and frontline food services. Everywhere you are, we're terribly proud of you. Terribly proud. So thank you for being our kids. I can't tell you how much that means to Mom and I. You are our light. You are our everything. Except we love the grandkids more, and I just thought you needed to know that. So there are Mariah's and
Mike and Mindy.
Mike and Mindy. Are the Rushes watching tonight?
I haven't seen them yet.
They will either watch tonight or they'll watch later, depending on what they've decided to do. But Mike and Mindy, your masks are done. Give us a call, and I will tell you what you got to do to collect the masks. It may have to do with getting our mail from Horton, if you know what I mean. So give us a call. Text Athena, and there they are. I'm just kidding. You can have them no matter what, but we sure would appreciate a mail run and whatever.
And
so,
Christmas will be...
Look, honey.
Let Chris and...
You didn't do a sound.
Whack,
boom.
whack,
Whack, whack, boom.
Let Chris and Mandy know that theirs are on the way.
Chris and Mandy, yours are on the way too. Didn't I just show them?
No, they're not in the pile
Oh,
yet.
they're not in the pile. Chris and Mandy, you don't have piles. Or whatever. This started out the show with the coins going in the box. And this is, it's not money and it's not a coin, but I want you to look at this. I'm going to try and give you a close look. I don't know how that's showing up. It may white out. I don't know. This is a mother of pearl. This particular mother of pearl is extinct, has been extinct for several hundred years. The item that you're looking at is postage stamp size with intricate carvings, and nobody knows how the carvings were made. Because you see, at the time this was made, there was no laser tool to engrave this. There were no Dremels to cut these intricate designs, even on the face of the item. And when this item was purchased, and there's a beautiful little scene that there's no way you're going to be able to see on video here, but when these were sold or given to the person who they were meant for, their name or symbol would be cut into the face of this. And these are called ancient Chinese gaming tokens. Ancient Chinese gaming tokens. From about the year 500. So as close as we can come. We have a collection of those. Oddities, weird things that come to us. Now, you all know I have a penchant for conspiracy theories, right? No, not you, Barron. Tell us more. My penchant for conspiracy theories has made us interested in a lot of things, but something is happening recently that I have been watching as far as conspiracy theories that to me is the most interesting thing I have ever seen, and that is QAnon. QAnon starts with a rumor of this person, this Q. And what Q stood for was Q clearance, like government top secret Q clearance. My mother had a Q, top Q. And this person is shady and dark and working on behalf of who we really don't know, but they're in the shadow government. And they're getting information out to the people from this shadow government. And they're fighting the deep state, whoever the deep state is. I've looked for the rosters of both Antifa and the deep state, and I can't find rosters for either one of them. So apparently, very secret stuff. So we have this shady character, and it starts out as a great conspiracy theory. And it's got all the earmarkings of a really awesome conspiracy theory. You can dig into it. There's a little bit of fact. There are some false trails, and then there are some trails that just smoke out. So what a perfect conspiracy theory. But then something odd happens. We begin seeing the letter Q at rallies, political rallies. We begin seeing the letter Q at protests. We begin seeing the letter Q. Athena and I, as we're traveling down the highways, we've seen the letter Q out in farmers' fields. Just a billboard with the letter Q on it. QAnon. Something really strange happened to a conspiracy theory. It became real. There are now millions of people involved in this QAnon, all pretty much following one agenda, and recently their agenda has been child trafficking. I think that is a great thing to go after, child traffickers. They deserve no holds barred They deserve to be flayed alive. Sorry, grandkids, but that's just how I feel about people that traffic innocent children. But what we see with QAnon is that they create this thing called Pizzagate. Look into it. And then the Wayfair conspiracy. And so QAnon, Pizzagate, the Wayfair conspiracy, now the president is an archangel and they're fighting Satan and apparently lizard overlords. So it's quite the group. They're very interesting. So far as they show up on my Facebook page, I'm blocking them really quickly because, wow, I've got enough cuckoo in my life, honeys. Let's talk about gravity hills and vortices, and mystery spots. Athena and I love to visit mystery spots and vortices. We were lucky enough to be at the Sedona vortex. And it really feels amazing. There are, no doubt, there are some lines of power or something's going on there. That the air is different, the feeling is different, the energy is different. So good on you, Sedona. You got yourself a vortex.
We've been to what, 13 of them?
I guess we've been to, really 13?
13, I think.
13. We visited 13 vortices.
In different states.
And then mystery spots. We also like mystery spots. And one of the things about the mystery spots, as a magician, they thrill me. You can often expect to see at a mystery spot water running up into a faucet that's not connected to any source of water. Again, water running uphill. One of the mystery spots, more than one of the mystery spots, you stand on a spot on a perfectly level concrete line that's leveled. You see it's leveled. You stand on one end, I stand on the other, and I'm looking down at you, and you look like you're this big. And then when we switch ends, it switches, and I'm this big, and you're this big. And you go into a house, and it's kind of hard to walk into the house, but then you can sit on the wall in a chair that's leaned on the wall. The guide will take a chair and just lean it on the wall at these mystery spots. Pardon me. Oh, the wall. The wall that you've been seeing behind me for the last few weeks is something that we're going to do a Barron Landscapes about. Because people have been asking, yes, it's a hidden Mickey, that's accidental, but it's definitely there. When we stood back and looked at the entire art compilation that we had done, we went, oh, hidden Mickey, which is fine. I've got a Fantasia collection. We're going to talk about all of the artifacts that you see behind me, from on this side, Aboriginal Australian, running all the way into Native American and Alaskan natives. And there are some interesting items up there that we're going to talk about. There's a talon that's up there, a beaded talon. And of course there are eagle feathers, turkey feathers, hawk feathers, owl feathers up there. And those all have a story to go with them. We don't have all the eagle feathers up here because some are with my blankets. I've been given 2 blankets from 2 different tribes. And they won't fit up on the wall, but at some point in time maybe we'll have a house where we can drape them on the wall, or put them up on a rack. But we'll be talking about those circles behind us. Speaking of things on walls, in a mystery spot, a ball can be put on a ramp, and the ball rolls uphill. It's the neatest thing. Now, it's physics. It's not magic, and it's really not mystery. It's physics. But at the best ones, even if you understand the physics, it's still remarkable to behold them in action, to watch them do their thing. Sorry, excuse me. Ah, my goodness. I didn't mean for that to happen. I want like this to go a little bit quicker than that. Yeah. So I'm just gonna hold it this way instead of. This is going to get, I need more arms. I'm telling you, I need 2 more arms, and so do you. And no, that is not going to work. I'll get back to that in just a minute. I've got a better idea. This is a little piece that we use in our presentation, and these are the words that go into it for our presentation. But I didn't think you guys would want to hear about placement, integration, and layering tonight, so I'm going to put those over here aside. And I've got some other stuff that you're going to get to hear about tonight. So we go to these vortices, we go to these mystery spots, we go to Gravity Hills. We went to Gravity Hills down in Oklahoma with a friend of ours, and he parked. You're looking uphill at the railroad tracks, and he parked at the bottom of the hill. and he put his truck in neutral. Now it's a big 3/4 ton truck. He put, not to you, Jason, that's a tiny little, I know, I get it. And not you either, John, because your truck is like your other stuff. Compensation much. And our friend put the truck in neutral, and the truck very slowly, very eerily, but gaining speed, started up the hill until we crested the top of the hill and went down the other side. It is the strangest sensation. Now, I posted a diagram with the physics of gravity hills on my wall earlier this week. It won't ruin the surprise. It's not like magic where once you know how it's done, it's like, oh, it's over for me. It's not like that at all. Knowing the physics makes these things that much more amazing. To see those physics in action. So, speaking of physics in action, I thought it might be interesting to talk about those mystery spots and vortices and gravity hills and QAnon and all that other crazy stuff by demonstration. And I've chosen three words that I think work really well with this topic of conversation, including, what in the world? Kids hate it when I do that. The grandkids, I get this out, they run. What makes these places work? What convinces our mind and our eyes that what we're seeing is defying physics? Well, in many cases, these are natural things, natural events. There is a river in Antarctica, and that river runs uphill. And that river runs uphill because the river runs between two sheets of ice. And the liquid starts off at the bottom of the ice, and pulses and pressure in the ice move the water uphill. And so it is a river, it has a name, and it does run uphill. There are several rivers right here in the United States that you can see that run uphill. We've seen a couple of them. Natural occurrences. Artificial. Things that are created, like, oh, you know, mystery spots. Spots where you feel like you're walking downhill when you're walking uphill. Spots where you think the other person is smaller and then they grow larger and you get smaller. And that's all artificial. It's created. It fools our mind and it fools our eyes, but it is all built into the angles. So it's artificial. Just thought I'd see what happened. And then, my friends, we have illusion. This brings us to most conspiracy theories. They are illusion. In fact, the smarter you are, the more imagination you have, the more likely you are to be drawn into these illusions, because they truly are illusions of the mind. So strange things in the world, even though the truth is out there, fall into three categories: natural, artificial, and illusion. In case you guys are wondering what's set up behind me, we're going to be doing some filming after we do this broadcast for our 5-cup Monty, because it's for sale now, and I've got to record the video. Heavy. Move that a little bit closer for you. Natural? Artificial? Or illusion? I can hardly wait to go back and get my master's degree. So, I love physics, I love science, I love psychology. I love all sorts of things like that. I want to tell you about our week. It's been a strange week. At the beginning of the show, we talked about what's happening with the internet. We're not through COVID yet. We're not through the economic wave yet. The economic wave is still coming. You can see it building now. You can feel it building. People are not okay. And more people are not okay. So do reach out to your loved ones. Do reach out to your friends. Try and be there for them. I know most of us are not any better off than anybody else. Some of you are not as good off as others. So we're putting it out there to the universe for all of us, for the universe to kind of kick in and take care of us, for 2020 to buffer itself. We've made a decision in our household, and not saying this for sympathy, this is just mental process, and Athena and I have been discussing it all week. We've got two cars. One is a really nice van that's a gold model touring Pacifica, and one is a really nice SUV that is a not gold model but all-wheel drive little monster SUV. It's a Dodge Journey, and Athena and I both just love that vehicle. And we're going to let the van go. We're going to have just one vehicle in our household. And I'll tell you what led us to this. First of all, right now, I'm not out working in casinos. We're doing what we can just to survive, just to meet the bills, which is fine. But we can't have two cars dragging us down. One is an anchor. One is a blessing. So we've decided to let the van go. But a lot went into that decision, and I want you to listen to me very carefully, because this might be something that you need to consider. The van is a completely computerized unit. So it runs by the computer, it starts by the computer, it backs up by the computer, the brakes are operated by the computer. The vehicle is computer operated. I was up in South Dakota last year, and I was absolutely terrified. I got into my van, and I went to start it, and a buzzer went off, and a thing came up on the screen that said that the car was incapacitated, that it had to do an update, and that I could start the update manually, or it would start it automatically, and it wouldn't let me start. It wouldn't let me go anywhere. I hit, let's do the update, come on. Took about half an hour for the update to go through on the van, and the update didn't take. And I thought, well, this is great. The update didn't take, so now I'm stuck in South Dakota with a vehicle that doesn't even know it should start. Some smart car. Who called them smart cars? Same person called them smart cars that called them smartphones. They're not, so there. I finally got the update to take, and so then the van started. We have had some...
Wasn't it like 10 hours?
It was a long time to get it to update. It was one of the scariest things, being stranded by my car. And so what I'm thinking is, here's the optimistic realism, is looking at what may be coming down the pike, what may be coming at us, is a weakening, if not failure, of our internet systems. And if I can't count on that vehicle during an internet failure, what if I'm on a highway? What if I'm at a client? What if I'm on the road? What if it's just at home? We can't have a vehicle that is at the whim of the internet. And so we've decided, not only because of the expense, but because of the certain risks involved with a smart vehicle, we are going to let that vehicle go, and we're going to keep the all-wheel drive Journey, which is still a nice car. It's a 2015, but like new, I defy you to tell it from a new one. What's that?
35,000 miles.
It's got about 40,000 miles on it.
Does it?
I know you haven't been in it in a while.
No.
It's got about 40,000 miles on it, and we love the car. It doesn't have the cargo space, but we can always hook up a hitch and a trailer and tow that. Folks, you have options. Every choice you make opens up new options. So you will always have options. The universe is an amazing piece of work. We don't know how it works, and I don't care how it works. But I know if you put out what you need to the universe, it will absolutely provide you with what you need. Not always what you want, and not always what you think you need. But it's always there for you. Put a good word out into the universe for Athena and I this week. Challenges coming up. Yay, I've got my certification in virus protection and control. And we look forward to seeing you guys. Next Friday it will be. Going to come up with some more magic and amazing, strange things to talk about and show you. And so with that, we love you. We'll see you next Friday.
Thanks for the music.
Oh yeah, thank you everybody for the music. We just played "Battery" by Justin Clemens, and earlier we have I gotta get back Brian Anderson, who does our game show theme and who does our exit theme, which we're about to hear, or we would have anyway.
Tell them to share
right now. Share this show. Go subscribe on YouTube. Hashtag Barron Stringfellow. Do all those little techie things that you know we need you to do to keep the show going. So we don't make any money on it, so let's get some folks watching it, and it keeps us going. Just let's get it out there. Let's get it shared. Thanks. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. Good night. We'll see you next Friday. Thank you, honey.